It really just starts on the champ select at this point.
Well, it's exactly where we are, Raz, as Saint are going to be taking our blue side, banning away the LeBlanc and the Gragas already. Malzahar not going to be seen this time around as IG take that one off the Rift, as well as the Thresh to follow up against Shu. Of course, definitely one of his favorite picks there towards the bottom side.
Yeah, Malz has received a bit of a nerf.
Yeah, well, of course, we have to announce this as well. The fact that we are on 6.14.
Yeah. And so, Malzahar right now, he's still a powerhouse. That nerf didn't really do much. He's like, his kit still exists. He's still a powerhouse. You can't give him away for free. And Otto has shown that if you give it up, he'll pick it.
Yeah, damn right he will. As Victor, another champion that's taken a little bit of a hit as far as purchasing that first upgrade on the Hex core is concerned. He's going to be banned away third here from Saint. So don't even want to allow that extra 250 gold into the hands of Rookie.
And that's, I don't want to say it's surprising because Victor is still strong, but I do think that the priority will be heavily towards, let's say, Cassiopeia, Azir, those two picks.
Yeah.
You're seeing a lot of Cassiopeia lately in the world.
And especially as sort of one of these answers to Vladimir potentially as well, just because of the fact that she has so much consistent damage. And that has been left open this time around. Do you think this is still a first pickable mid laner?
I still do think that. There are counter picks to the Vladimir, but Vladimir right now is incredibly strong. He's a pick that, yeah, sure, if he gets shoved in, like that's one strength taken away, but if he gets a kill, if he gets a single kill, then it snowballs from there.
Well, Saint are actually currently looking at Gangplank here towards the top side of the map. That armor penetration build really starting to become prevalent in the meta globally as well. See whether Acorn does decide to lock it away. Of course, they haven't decided to click the button just yet, and the Braum is what's going to be taken instead. So those concussive blows being locked down there for Shu. It's now IG say, well, if you're going to leave us Vladimir, we may as well pick it up.
Yeah, exactly. And the Braum is a good pick. If you want to pick the Jhin into it, then whatever. Like, Braum is a pick that you can pretty much... it works with everything. It doesn't show anything, so the counter picks are going to be a lot more valuable.
Yeah. Well, Kid has locked away that Jhin for Marge. So strong first round of picks there for IG. Looks like Otto does have the answer potentially here in the Cassiopeia, and we'll see exactly whether it does work out. Because, of course, remember he's up against Rookie, which means that aside from champion matchup, it's always going to be difficult. And Chimin actually considering the Graves for himself.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried. This team is the proactive one. I've been liking the fact that Saint has been taking it to teams as of late. Chimin is an aggressive jungler, something that March should kind of look towards, you know. Watch some of Chimin's games. He's been doing quite well for himself. So I don't really like the Cassiopeia in that sense. It's fairly reactive, so.
That's a really good point. As Saint do lock away the Graves and the Ashe. So switching from the Cassiopeia, decide to take away the Ashe, save the mid lane pick until a little bit later, as that's bottom lane and jungle locked in. And that's a really strong bottom lane in the Braum Ashe.
Exactly, and of course they're going up against the Jhin, so if they ever have the opportunity, you know, if the lanes align themselves, then they can get a great pick on the Jhin. It's I do like Ashe as of late. Though, of course, with no Malzahar, it's not an easy setup anymore.
Well, Kid's actually going to take away the Rek'Sai here, as IG didn't take too long to find those picks. Alistair there for Baolan towards the bottom side of the map. So Jhin, Alistair, terrifying amounts of engage. But as far as sort of this lane presence, lane strength, might be a little bit difficult against the Braum Ashe.
Yeah, the laning phase is interesting. They might want to look to lane swap, but we'll see what they do with their top lane. They do have counter pick. I do love the fact... please lock it in.
He's, of course, referring to Poppy, ladies and gentlemen. Raz, big Poppy fan.
Poppy did receive a decent buff in this patch. So pretty much it comes down to the fact that she now moves faster with her W, and at the same time, her passive does give her an extra shield.
So a little bit stronger shield, a little bit more movement speed when you press that W button. However, Talia has actually received some quality of life buffs, I guess, in the fact that her Seismic Shove now a little bit easier to use. But overall, that damage has been lowered.
Exactly. So I was wondering whether Talia would be a priority. They did give her that combo opening, right? Where she has it's a lot safer for her to like pretty much open up with the W. She doesn't have to commit more mana. But yeah, exactly. I'm not too sure. This is a good matchup for the Talia, but we'll see how it impacted her trades.
Oh, exactly right. And IG now considering what Save wants to take towards the top side of the map.
See, this is interesting in and of
Wow.
itself. Yeah, see, because I was wondering about the Poppy pick. Poppy is nice, but I'm not too certain of just the blind Poppy, right? There are good matchups into it. The Rumble coming out, I am not too sure. Pretty much she should just get shoved in constantly.
Doesn't necessarily have as much wave clear, relying on that Q a lot, but we'll see whether Save is going to be able to shove that one out. But what I'm looking at on the side of IG is a lot of level 6 power with this double AP comp, with the Equalizer plus Hemoplague potentially being able to mess Saint up. And IG, a team that you mentioned as being a reactive team, do have a proactive composition.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how both work out, because they're kind of opposite in terms of identity. IG do want to look to pretty much converge on mid, meanwhile Saint look to want to converge on sides.
Yeah. We'll see how it is going to play out as well, because Otto, of course, a lot of maneuverability around the map, can just walk up to a wall, start skating on it, you know, use his Weaver's wall to get towards the bottom or top sides as well, so he will be very flexible. Ash Arrow's there to try and start fights off. Of course, Sivir not looked at all throughout this draft phase, which was very interesting, but the coaches are going to shake hands. Let's get into game number 1 of Week 9. Thank you very much, Acorn. And we are not onto Summoner's Rift. We're just admiring the man that just welcomed us out of that video. As I believe we are going to start off with a slight pause as we move into game 1 of IG versus Saint.
Something I want to open up pretty much about Saint. Saint as a team, sure, they're not, like, the option of playoffs isn't presented to them. They don't have the opportunity to get into playoffs. But the big point for them as a team is that, like, they're switching rosters, right? They're just trying to find out what works. So this is a pressure point for about every single one of those players. Yeah. They have to perform well, and hopefully, you know, they don't get into relegations. And if they do, then this has to be pretty much the lineup that works for them.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And we have to remember the fact that we're talking about IG as being able to potentially get into playoffs. Yeah. Saint can still potentially get themselves out of that relegation zone and actually put Invictus Gaming into that relegation series, which is something that's theoretically unheard of. Yeah. Especially, you know, for anyone that's been watching Chinese League of Legends for a long time, because this is such a dynasty with the Invictus Gaming organization. So we do hop onto Summoner's Rift, but yeah, it could be devastating.
Well, yeah, last time we've had something so massive as that was Royal, actually.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting, to say the least. This is the opportunity for Saint to create their own dynasty.
Well, already you can see IG getting some damage off. Nice dodge there from Marge. Gets out of the way of the Winter's Bite as Rookie was threatening. But not able to find anything more. And XQ's just going to go back home, get his health back.
I really do want to just focus on this Poppy. How are they utilizing it, right? Because like, this is the first time we're seeing it right back onto the Rift. And honestly, Saint has picked such an early game, pretty much level 6 tempo, kind of like skirmish heavy, like team. Yeah. And it's going to be interesting to see how they utilize it, because that's basically been how they win. Have they been winning or just generally playing their games recently?
And I actually really love it in the hands of Acorn as well. You mentioned the fact that he has already played Poppy, but just his style, the fact that he does have this ability to use teleports so incredibly well, get those flanks correctly, and much of the reasons why Poppy was buffed in this sense was so that her flanks would be stronger, so that she can be more durable as she gets into that backline to really mess people up. So you can see Otto actually starts off by taking some of those little raptors. As it is a lane swap ensuing. Saint moving their bottom lane topside.
Yeah, I love how they brought their mid laner into the skirmish.
Well, you can see already a big skirmish here around the red buff as Acorn getting aggressive onto Baolan, throws out the buckler, doesn't get the shield as he flashes forward. Nice heal comes out of Marge as they're looking for Chimman, but might have to turn onto Acorn. Nice use of the brush. here from this Saint roster. As there's a flash from Balan, but Otto turns up, picks up the first blood. Rookie going to answer immediately with a kill of his own. But that is going to be an extra 100 gold going to Saint, and everyone's collapsing. Even Saves here.
Okay. That is a skirmish if I've ever seen one. Level 1 skirmish in the jungle. But yeah, that was kind of interesting. Alistair got killed out, so let's see. They're going into the lane swap. They may be a little bit slower to this tempo. We'll find out who gets hurt the most, honestly.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, Otto, the fact that he has now used both of his summoner spells, but Chimin died. So now has to start his jungle very, very late. And I think without a red buff as well. As you can see, Rookie's got it.
Oh, see? Because the thing about the sums at this point of the game in a lane swap, it just doesn't matter, right? You don't get to use it. You're not going up against any lane partners. So if you have, if there's an opportunity, just use it. Get the skirmish going for you. That was very smart from them.
Well, we'll see whether Otto can utilize this first blood that he was able to pick up. Of course, managed to come back to lane with an extra Doran's ring as Rookie just wandered up there, made sure that he got himself the experience advantage by being in lane first. But Otto with the item lead now moving into this and can utilize all of his wave clear effectively.
I just don't know why they contested it so hard. Chimin and Acorn, usually if the enemy team send their entire duel lane, you just walk away. Don't even deal with it. That is just not worth it. But they went in. They thought they had the opportunity to take the kill. But, of course, Vladimir went in.
Whoa, really nice seismic shove coming out from Otto. Look at the damage onto Rookie, who's waiting for that Crimson Rush. We'll get it back, but Otto really came to fight today.
Yeah, he really did. I think he actually got the combo we were just talking about. If you do get the flick off the W, then of course, then you can send out your E. Oh my!
Speaking of which, Chimin's going to make his way in. Flash out from Rookie. Doesn't have the Ghost yet available, but big summoner spell now down. Chimin almost managing to make that one work, and Rookie now has to go back to base.
Yeah, by the skin of his teeth, honestly. So, actually,
this is dangerous.
This is interesting. They are just dodging the lane swap wards entirely. Acorn might just get killed off this.
You can see Margin and Balan are going to make their way up here. Lots of CC here in this combo as Acorn's trying to play with Fog of War. There's the Pulverize. Deadly Flourish comes down as well, and Acorn in a lot of trouble, down to 200 health.
Oh!
Wow, that's a big crit, and Marge picks up the kill.
Very smart. And
well, welcome, Otto. Yeah, Chimin's going to make his way in as well. Marge takes a bit of damage, but the wave in a decent position. They don't want to take the 2v2, as Otto now going to back on a ward.
So, one big point is Saint. Oh, okay. Well, you know,
frustrating.
You don't want to leave anyways.
Headbutt Pulverize comes in. That's the exhaust down already. As you can see, Marge has to dodge out of the way of the W.
Does it end? Does it end?
Yeah, Chimin's making his way in as well. Balan, one more auto attack from Chimin after he reloads. Picks up the kill. Marge now in trouble. Concussive Blows comes in, and Acorn picks up some revenge as XQ grabs the kill. Saint 5 members towards the top side of the map.
They are proactive. That is their new identity. That is who they are. That was incredible. So just going back to the initial point about Acorn, how he got caught out. Usually, if you put in your lane swap wards, you put at least one ward in the jungle just to catch out whoever's like pretty much coming through that way, right?
Yeah.
But there were no wards. There were only lane wards. So just pretty much being able to just dodge it out completely is incredible in that sense. So going back and forth this game.
Well, you can see even the CS value is looking fantastic as save. Might potentially be in trouble. Balan does make his way in. Deadly Flourish from Marge. Gets a bit of work done, but Shu throws up the Unbreakable and everything's fine. IG try to answer back, but you can see the CS on every single position, apart from top lane, working out quite well here for Saint. His Rookie is actually still ahead of Otto somehow and gets a gigantic amount of damage onto this roaming Talia.
So one big question about the Poppy was the last time Acorn played Poppy, he was rather behind in the lane matchup after that one gank. So they're going into a lane swap. He doesn't have to worry about that. Guess the nice freeze too.
Yeah. I was having a bit of a giggle at Rookie just pulling for no reason. But didn't seem to amount to too much, as it will be off cooldown in another 3 seconds.
You know what? I respect that. Yeah, big worry here is now Poppy's completely frozen out that bottom lane, right? So,
yeah.
What are you going to do, Invictus Gaming? What are you going to do?
And what's the next move?
Honestly, what they should do is threaten a dive. That's all they have to do. They're not sending their jungler down to the bottom lane to break the freeze. So they do have to have some bit of threat. Get them off that turret.
Well, it is going to be Rift Scuttler taken by Kid, as you can see. So not going to look for any sort of 4 versus 2 dive underneath this turret. Decent wave clear comes out of the volley, so IG have to wait for the next wave. We'll see whether they do go for anything. As the Rek'Sai moves over as well to the mid lane. Chimin makes his presence known. Just make sure that Otto can lock down this farm.
But yeah, Rumble is now at a 15 CS deficit. Poppy's just doubling it just based off this factor. And I don't blame IG on this sense because you can't dive a Braum Ashe. And they didn't even know where they didn't even know where Chimin was at the time, so.
Well, they did learn. There's now 5. Going to go and pick up that big wave that Akon did end up building after he built up that CS lead. So it looked like he didn't want to hold on to the freeze for too long. There's going to be a decent amount of minions that Save can now gather for himself.
It's such a tense situation.
I wonder as well, I'm actually quite excited because this is, of course, the patch where the tiptoes came in.
Oh, that's true.
So Rek'Sai's Tremor Sense no longer able to detect people moving extraordinarily slowly or changing their facing. We'll see whether anyone's going to be tiptoeing around any Baron pits.
They got to disregard that. Unless if they are the masters at tiptoeing. That's the only time.
Yeah. Excited to see whether it actually happens as Otto picks himself up a blue buff. Seismic Shove helps him out. Smudge will grab this wave as it heads towards his top inner turret.
So you got to believe that's incredibly key. With the blue buff, he's going to be able to just shove Vladimir in. It's going to be a lot worse for Rookie at this point. And so the question is now, Saint, what are you going to do with it? Because they have been utilizing their push quite a bit. They know their limits, or at least they're utilizing it. So with this newfound strength in Otto, will they use his ulti for perhaps a dive plate? They shouldn't stop, because if IG does get into the late game, or at least at their item spike, it will be troubling for Saint.
And it also feels to me a little bit like if IG can set the tempo themselves, then they'll be in a much better position, get Rookie over there. Whereas Saint have so many opportunities to, move Otto around the map, utilize that Weaver's Wall. I feel like whoever has, I guess, the initiative will be looking a lot better.
Exactly, but the problem is IG just don't have the initiative. The only initiative they have is in their top lane. But the fact that they didn't get the standard lanes, the fact that Rumble now is pretty much always answering to these team-wide freezes, that just isn't being seen.
Well, you can see Saint starting up the new and improved Cloud Drake. No longer is it 15 movement speed, it is now 25. Feel a little bit more speedy.
Yeah, and
of course,
it really
increases even more you get to. It's exactly right. Infernal Drake will still be the next one. Still be probably the favorite, as Rookie denies a cannon creep, despite 2 members of Saint moving over. Tower falls on the top side of the map, so IG able to get themselves a turret lead. It will be answered relatively quickly here by Saint towards the bottom side.
Oh, and they're answering with 2 turrets. It's a little bit greedy, but I think they can do it.
Well, they've got 3 creeps left.
IG really need to respond with they need to shove them off this lane entirely.
Well, Balan is going to make his way in, so no more damage on this outer turret, but below half health, still definitely a big deal.
Yeah, so what ended up happening is essentially they traded out the 1 tower for Saint, putting pressure on mid and bot. If this was unanswered to, of course, they were going to be able to get 2 turrets, but now it's a bit of an investment. Sure, you lose the immediate gold value, so generally speaking, this isn't the right play for Saint. But if they do get a proper skirmish, if they get the proper fight, that's 2 towers down, and it works out.
Yeah, sort of setting them up to fall. And they are still even on gold despite being behind that turret, so still working out A-OK. Kid starting to pull ahead as far as jungle farm is concerned, but Chimin locking down that Rift Scuttler. Move his way back in and see what he can get done. Actually deciding to skip his warrior enchantment. Goes for that serrated Dirk for some early game damage. It's a bit cute, Raz.
Yeah, says a lot to him, really. If he ever senses he has a lead, he has pushed it. Maybe a little bit too much, but I like that. Don't like teams pretty much waiting forever. It's been the identity of Kid for me, really.
Well, hopefully, Chimin doesn't decide to go too far and build himself a hurricane.
I don't know. IG would definitely like that gift again. They would accept it.
Just a new thing. If you're playing against IG, got to build that Hurricane. Oh, Marge. He's not going to, but XQ, he'll have a Hurricane. So maybe Saint will just decide that their AD carry can be enough Hurricanes this time around. Jimin takes away his red buff. Deadly Flourish locks down some of these creeps as XQ and Shu now back away from this lane.
Yeah, you got to expect something to happen very soon because with Rumble getting shoved into the top lane, looks like Acorn could be looking for something.
Yeah, actually in the mid lane here as Pink Ward does spot them out. They do clear the vision. Saint being able to get that Cloud Drake means that they are a bit more maneuverable. Means that this wave will be caught by Acorn relatively easily as he helps Jimin out taking down this Wolf Camp. Otto now just gets transfused, but nice seismic shove there. It's thrown back. IG still setting up for a potential siege. And Rookie, of course, will have all of that health back relatively fast.
Yeah, won't be able to do much, but that bot tower must be down. Actually, he's going to have to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, you can see actually Teleport coming in from Save as well. Really wants to get the flank on this Ashe. As Baolan throws down the ultimate, gets out of the Ashe Arrow's CC, but doesn't get the headbutt Pulverize. It's a miss on the Deadly Flourish as the ultimate comes in from Marge and he picks up the kill. Otto sets up the wall, but he's just a little bit too late as now Shu with the Unbreakable. Avoids a lot of the damage, but Rookie just ghosting around. We'll be fine. It's just the one pick for IG.
Yeah, incredible TP. You got to have to understand that Ward's definitely in that red side jungle. They did have control there for quite some time. So honestly, XQ was probably just tunneling on that tower. You recognize it's like, okay, if they're going to go mid, well, this tower is fairly low. So they got baited in by their own investment.
Yeah. Well, possibly, you know, it could have been a better idea just go in and say, well, I might die, but let's take down this turret. Doesn't happen, however, as Jimin just gets transfused. And Rookie says, I don't really mind what you do to me because I'm a Vladimir. And I'll get a lot of my health back. Still about 10 CS ahead. Has himself the Revolver building towards that Dash Cannon or Proto Belt. And the Spectre's Cow there as well towards his Spirit Visage. On the other side, though, Morellonomicon being completed is good news for Otto. Does need to get him relatively low before it does work, but they do decide to all in on Rookie. His healing will not be nearly as much.
Yeah, they're putting down a lot of pressure at the moment. Saying is, it could be great for them. Looks like the target is going to be that blue buff.
Yeah, Kid's going to make his way back through. Chimin already started this one up. It's relatively low. There are wards in the area. He smites that one away. Chimin with a bit of denial, and XQ utilizes the pressure, takes down the outer turret on the bottom side.
Yeah, so IG right now on the back foot. Theoretically, their late game should be just fine, but you got to worry because Graves, Poppy does scale quite a bit now, and should, if they do have flank pressure, always be a threat to Jin. So that's been a theme as of late. Everything just threatens Jin.
Yep.
Hasn't been a very good shift in the meta. He was doing quite well for himself, and then Hecarim started appearing, you know.
And then an Evelyn appeared. And that was awful.
That was just unfortunate for everybody involved.
Mostly PentaQ.
Mostly
who was playing the Jin.
Yeah.
He's now saved. Going to be able to grab himself some minions here in the mid lane. Or might just hold them there for Rookie, who does now have his Proto Belt built up. Swiftness boots there as well.
Saint seems to be at the proper position. Dragon is coming up at 10 seconds, so... Actually, they seem to be a little bit slower on the map. We'll have to see how they... who gets positioned first.
Oh, Marge actually heading back to base. Grabs himself some Swifty boots. He's going to probably jig his way back towards this Dragon Pit. Now that has come back up. Rookie trying to grab some control back of this wave. Of course, can do so relatively well. But a couple of item spikes here for IG. Double Proto Belt. So these two AP carries in their solo lanes. A bit more maneuverable. And Ghostblade is picked up from Marge.
The worry is there are no flank wards for the Poppy, so it would be very difficult to pretty much go at IG head on. So I guess they just straight up go down the mid lane and take the tower.
Well, Dragon is going to fall. Next one's going to be a mountain. As you can see, Rookie's going to make his way back to the mid lane and yes, save the outer turret. XQ grabs himself some mini raptors, but that is about it. And IG just seem to have the answers quickly enough to deal with Saint's pressure.
It's kind of unfortunate. Saint did put good enough early pressure. They did go in for that blue buff, but they didn't place in those flank wards that were needed.
Arrow's going to land on a Kid, however. This might be the proactive play they need. Weaver's Wall comes through. Marge singled out. Seismic Shove flashed from the Jin as now Baolan is going to fall. Otto very low. Captive Audience comes in, and there's the curtain call. The Equalizer flies through at the same time. Save corralling everyone. Rookie picks up the kill as he launches into the backline. Hemo Plague out. You can see the pool doing work, and Rookie picks up one. Will get shut down by Acorn's Poppy, as so far it's actually a 2 for 3 in favor of Saint. 2 for 4.
2 for 4. So that was the fight Saint needed, definitely. Gifted to them, quite honestly. Going straight into the red side jungle, face checks, and just gets demolished.
Very aggressive moves from IG. Did look like it might work out, but unfortunately for the likes of Rookie, just didn't quite have enough. It took so much damage from Otto initially.
Yeah, a lot of damage right now. They have so much zone control that pretty much Otto's doing an incredible amount of damage in that side of the jungle. Ashe is doing quite a bit. And Shu doing a lot to just block the damage coming in. So it's really difficult, especially once that Weaver's Wall came down.
Yeah.
To pretty much react to that properly. And so they just got caught surprised, really.
And the Equalizer did look very good from Save as well. Kept everyone in the same position. Got them lined up for the curtain call.
It was far too late, though. At that point, it was just, you were not going to be able to get anything off that, especially since Acorn was full HP, so he could just block for the entire team.
Yeah, and the fact that they'd already lost Kid and Baolan, so a lot of that CC, a lot of those tanky bodies in the front line no longer there. Had to be that hero effort from Save and Rookie, who definitely did go for it. With both flashes used. Just wasn't quite enough as Otto now moving towards the bottom side. We'll be able to shove that towards the inner turret. As Marge just throwing out as many deadly flourishes as possible to try and keep this wave in order. And Rookie clears up the bot lane just in time for Otto to pick it up for him.
Yeah. So what I want to see from Saint, they have the early lead. They usually get these leads. Now the question is whether they can keep it or not. They just need to understand. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, Chimen's going to get caught out. Does have to flash as the Flame Spitter not quite long enough. Curtain Call comes in. Shu's going to fall down, trying to save his jungler. Does so. Beautiful sacrifice, but he's going to mean that whoa, Equalizer. Chimen burning down to death, and Save's going to pick up the kill. Beautiful play, and that was blind.
Yeah, that was a save all right. He saved his team from what felt like a really poor position from them. If Acorn got that Rift Herald, that would have been, well, in most scenarios, would have been lights out.
Yeah, disastrous. Not going to happen this time, though. Speaking of Acorn, is towards his Spirit Visage. Wants to grab himself some Merc Treads at the same time, by the looks of things, with that Null Magic Mantle, and the Sunfire Cape has already been completed. So the full tank Poppy coming in. No cheeky Trinity Forces, of course. Zatai sitting on the bench for this game.
But yeah, the buffs, the percentage shield that he does get off of HP is going to be the major focal point of the pick right now. So you do want to go straight tank and get the flank positions. This is something that they need to work on because Poppy, once you get the lead, right, it's kind of difficult to close out a game.
Yeah.
You just need, because you don't have that hard engage. The only hard engage they truly have is in their Ashe. He gets those picks, and of course, if Otto is in a proper position, maybe she can look for a pick or two.
Yeah.
But with Poppy, you get priority, you push out your lanes, and they do need to set down those vital flank wards for Acorn to pretty much just, whenever a fight starts, you can just hop onto the Jhin freely.
At the moment, they actually don't have a lot of vision very deep into IG's jungle. Curtain Call comes in. They've started off this fight. Equalizer goes down as well as Shu is going to explode. Kid picks that one up. Good seismic shove as Otto getting pulled at underneath this turret. Teleport coming in from Acorn. Deadly Flourish doesn't find the Talia. And now Chimen's going to turn up. IG, though, with 5 members in. And that's the bottom lane dead from Saint. Rookie gets knocked against the wall. Chimen with the collateral damage. Locks down the Vladimir before he could do anything. And Otto still getting damaged through. Saint answer back nicely. We'll see whether it's going to be enough as Weaver's Wall comes in. Oh, doesn't get the heroic charge, but it doesn't matter. Baolan still falls down. Kid and Save moving the wrong direction as Marge, the only one here to try and help out. Acorn dodges the captive audience. And They even out the trade.
Back and forth, back and forth. These trades are incredible, but one thing's for certain, IG is not taking it sitting down.
Oh, no.
Big question was whether or not they were going to be able to take these fights or have the numbers ready. And they, for the most part, they are. They had that fight initiated. That was an incredible combination with save ulti pretty much demolishing XQ and Siu.
You can see Marge actually throws over a trap, but this Baron incredibly low as Saint had moved over. Oh my goodness, Kid knocked out of the way. Chimin locks up the Baron and Saint solidify their lead even further. Acorn not even going to die as he flashes over the Baron wall, and now Saint with a whole lot of map pressure.
Yeah, 3K gold, they get the Baron. Saint is in the driving position, and you cannot sit on Saint. Saint is a team that have been playing well ever since they put in Chimin and Auto, really.
Yeah, since they solidified their lineup, right?
Yeah, and since they've gotten, like, pretty much benched STYZ. STYZ was their strongest player in their previous roster.
Yeah.
Would always get those leads in his own lane, and once they took him out, it was really confusing. Question was, well, what are they going to do now? They've just pretty much benched their strongest player.
Well, you can see Shu's doing fine. This guy's 40 CS up, 1, 2, and 4. He's been hitting the arrows. And of course, what you need from an AD carry position a lot of the time is that utility, that team player mentality, and maybe Shu just, XQ has that a little bit more.
Exactly. So that's what it feels like the difference is, because this new Saint lineup is playing well with each other.
Yeah.
Something I would not have really expected up until this point.
Well, they're now sieging on this inner turret, on the bottom side of the map. It's going to be smited. It's that siege minion as Rookie looking to clear this one out. Baron minion is a little bit difficult for Vladimir this time in the game as collateral damage soars over the pool of blood. Rookie's able to get out to safety. Acorn knocked up underneath the turret, but he's very tanky. Kid getting aggressed on, but it does provide so much room for Saint just to lock up that inner turret. Pressure is on IG.
Yeah, that's what I call that Graves ult, TJ. Pressure mode. Oh! Whoa. He dodged it.
Yeah, arrow sails by.
They got to watch out for Batline. He's actually been an incredible force right now. He's been setting up these fights really well for their team. So,
well, in goes Kid, but he regrets that decision almost immediately as the seismic shove gets him even further in, closer to death. And Otto's Talia has been very impressive.
Yeah, really, really well played from him. His ultis have been really well placed, and so you even got a glimpse of what they were trying to do with Talia and Poppy, right?
Yeah.
They placed that wall down, and you get that pretty much that wall smash, but didn't work out. Didn't get. I guess you have to place the wall has to be fully, the
fully developed wall.
Yeah, fully developed. Otherwise, you just get a bit of unfortunate.
Yeah, sort of help someone over to the other side.
Yeah.
However, still managed to get the kill, so theoretically, absolutely fine. Maybe even wanted to do that, just get the kill a little bit earlier.
Oh, now the question is, what is he going to build that Sheen into, right?
Mm.
See, is it the Trinity Force?
Oh, I hope so.
We'll find out.
I have a feeling he's just trying to grab as much CDR as he can. Of course, Iceborne Gauntlet completed fairly soon, potentially, if he decides to go that route, so we'll have the 40% from that.
They got to watch out. Saint has to watch out. They don't have Talia for this play, so if they're putting up a strong force here, but if IG picks the fight, could be bad for them.
Yeah, and Baron is actually wearing off here as well. As you can see, that bottom wave now being tended to by the Talia. As there's the curtain call. Chimin tagged by the first one, tagged by the second. Third's going to miss. Fourth is going to go wide as well. But Marge with some decent damage.
Good idea from XQ. He wanted Jin to stop ulting, but okay. Of course it's early ult.
Yeah, a bit of heroic charge into the wall. Rookie continues to try and clear as there's the headbutt pulverized onto Acorn. Equalizer goes down. Chimin taking a lot of damage as there's Acorn's ultimate right into the backline. Hemoplague doing a bunch of work as it explodes onto the backline members of Saint. With IG staying out of this fight as much as they can. And a lot of cooldowns now used, but a lot of low health bars for Saint.
Yeah, so they tried to engage on Poppy. They did get quite a bit of damage on the rest of the team, but Poppy is actually just taking 0 damage.
Yeah.
So you might want to focus on XQ and Auto for that one.
Rookie is able to get a little bit of health back from Acorn. But IG's health bar is a little bit too high.
Yeah.
Blade pop for some reason there from Chimin.
That was a good look from IG. They were kind of playing a little passively up until Talia did reveal herself on the wave bot side. The moment that happened, Jin opened up with their ulti. If they were able to continue down that path, that would have been really unfortunate for Saint. But I guess that was a good look for a disengage on XQ. He threw his ulti straight at Jin to see if he can pretty much stop that from happening.
Yeah, it did tend to work out. As you can see, 9-9 in kills, but still approximately that 6,000 gold lead for Saint, who just seem to be owning the map. 2 dragons to 1. Of course, IG did manage to get a pretty powerful one in the Infernal Drake, but Mountain and Cloud now picked up as Marge has to flash out of the way of the arrow, but the teleport's still going to come in from Acorn. Marge gets around the side, Chimin chasing him up. Wow!
My God!
Just exploded by the 1-2 punch out of the Graves. Minute and a half on the Baron buff. Now Saint looking to lock down this red buff on the side of IG. They know they're this far ahead.
Yeah, I didn't even know if that was going to kill him. I had no idea, but that was incredible. They know their strength, and they are taking it to Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, there's the heroic charges. XQ's able to lock it down through the ultimate onto the Alistar. Out goes the Rek'Sai now as Rookie singled out. Seismic Shove not going to find, but heroic charges there for the CC. Saint have locked down Rookie, Marge, and Baolan now, and will be able to break open the base.
What is this team? That was incredible. Even though the flank ward was not as far back, looked like it didn't work out, or wasn't going to, but it did. Opens up the map for them.
Whoa, and in goes Acorn under 2 Nexus turrets. Marge is going to explode as Otto picks it up. Acorn's not even going to die as these Nexus turrets are. Saint still with all 5 members here, and IG are running out, but these death timers are not high at 28 minutes in.
Yeah, and they're free right now. You cannot catch Saint running out with Ashe, Talia,
Cloud Drake.
Cloud Drake coming right back. But yeah, Baron's coming up soon. Maybe that will be the point. So, Acorn, you better back.
Yeah, does need to. Doesn't have that teleport anymore, of course, as we have a look at his pretty face.
But Saint's been playing incredibly well.
Oh, yeah. Now you can see, as this Poppy is trying to make her way out, we'll see what Acorn can actually pick up for himself, because it's been a while he's been sitting on those items. 5 save, sorry, does have the Rylai's Crystal Scepter. He's starting to build some items. But IG just, in that department, really falling behind the mark. Void Staff almost there for Rookie. He's just been picked off. It just seems like Saint know how to deal with this Vladimir.
Yeah, it's really difficult for Vlad to even walk up on this team. He gets just completely picked out by legitimately everyone on this team, except for perhaps Graves. Yeah, sure, the moment he comes out of his pool, he's expecting Acorn, XQ, Otto. Like, there's so much single pick coming from them, you really just can't walk up to them. It has to be Kid.
This just feels so safe for Saint as well, as Acorn's going to start off the fight. Baolan is going to get locked away as Marge gets destroyed by Otto. He is going to trade his life as the shutdown comes in for Rookie. Does have Crimson Rush now as Chimin relatively low. The trade is good for Saint as they take down Save as well.
It is not a good day for Jin. Moment he puts down his ulti, everybody knows where you are.
Oh,
that indicator is, it's very clear. So gets soloed out by Otto. Otto sacrifices his life for it, but
wow, in goes Baolan. Massive flash. Picks up Shu immediately. Stolen is the Baron as Kid picks it up. Chimin now in trouble. Locks down Kid. Rookie in trouble, and you can see Shu doing a bunch of work in the backline. Rookie's the last man standing. This is the last of the Baron, and Acorn picks up the ace.
Yeah,
so Saint don't get the Baron, but they do manage to get all the kills.
Yeah, that Baron came at a high price. It would seem that that price was the game. Marge, I thought maybe perhaps he got that Baron, but he came up right after it.
Would have been very close.
So it feels like death timers right now are locked at 20 seconds. This could be it.
Well, Save has managed to find his way alive again, but Acorn looking for a heroic charge gets the slow as the Nexus just melts. XQ had so much damage onto that, and 10,000 gold with the lead. Saint are dominant in game number one against IG. And this was do or die for IG. They had to put it all on the line. Just did not look like they could play with Saint today.
Yeah, Saint is just pretty much demolishing. Like, they demolished them. They took them apart 1 by 1.
Yeah.
And so the bigger point, too, is it felt like confidence was a major factor as well.
Yeah.
Acorn played, he went off. He went off individually. Like, individually, each player did their part. And on top of that, as a unit, they went in for every skirmish.
You can see some of the highlights here now as the arrow to start off this fight. This was looking good for IG. Managed to get a decent equalizer there. Decent ultimate out of the Braum as well. And the Hemo Plague was right onto the backline, but just too many picks early. Saint were able to lock that one up. Look at that equalizer, making sure that they're all corralled. The bullets fly through. Save tries to get the damage down, but immediate heroic charge. The Rumble's dealt with, and then it's just Rookie against the world.
And Otto played incredibly well that team fight. He just made Marge feel incredibly uncomfortable sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
That wall came down, and of course, his burst was always threatening Marge. So Marge never really had a chance to put down damage.
And it just looked like Saint came into this game with a definite plan.
Yeah.
As you can see, that was just a beautiful heroic charge. And then ultimate to split the fight. It's been a while since we've really seen Poppy utilized to this level. And Acorn letting us know that this is a patch. So they lock down the kill onto Baolan as well. But this is where it gets beautiful because Saint play around this Baron really nicely, despite the fact that Baolan's flash, headbutt flash pole was fantastic.
Yeah.
This wasn't enough.
The incredibly well-placed Poppy W. He forced Rek'Sai to flash over the wall, canceled his tunnel, pretty much just made it really difficult for him to steal that Baron. And if he stole it, he doesn't have flash and he doesn't have tunnel. It was not looking good for him, even when they took that Baron.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But a lot of it had to do with the fantastic team composition that they built up. We'll see whether they can get it again in game number 2 right after the break.